Thanks, V. Hello, everybody. Hi. Good to see you. I had a break from you for a whole bit of time. I didn't see you. I missed you. It's crazy. I was like, where's my gap class this week? You can't get into a rhythm, right? So, okay. On a score of 1 to 10, how are you feeling today? Drop it in the chat. Am I frozen?
No, you are on.
No, I'm on.
We
okay.
can see you and hear you.
Ooh. We've got 8 plus. Wow, these are high scores, guys. Shoo. All right. Veronica's also an 8, considering we just had a call. I thought she would drop to like a 6.
I feel much more better after the call.
That's great. So everybody's feeling top of the world. So what I want to start with today is the last time we led off, we talked about like how to fill up your pipelines for conversations and make appointments and actually talk to people, right? And I see the questions today is really about feedback on promo plan, feedback on the promo plan from Ruby and Isabel, but then fundraising from Jaroslava and definitely sharp rates for events from Tim. So I think we'll cover that. But I think what I'd like to talk about is like what's happened in the last week or 2 weeks, right? What's really happened with filling out your pipeline? How many leads have you got? That kind of thing. What's happening with the data behind things? The conversations that you wanted to have, the diary bookings that you wanted to have. So let's come to each one of you and have that conversation first. Then let's talk about having conversations and some tips from my side so that it like improves going forward. And then I think let's talk about the answers to the questions. So Tim, I'll start with you because I think it's an important aspect to have that conversation about how do you get people showing up for free stuff. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Where would you like me to start?
All right. So start. Tell me on your numbers. What's going on?
What did we do? We did 6 events in the South Island of New Zealand. We went out to some of the more regional centres that not many people seem to go out and target. We ended up with roughly 110 people committed to coming through free tickets at each venue, which was really cool. And then we had no idea what the sharp rate was going to be. So first event, I think we ended up with about 32 out of 110, which was dreadful.
Yeah.
So from that point, we then implemented text message blasting for each of the events after that. That seemed to make an instant improvement. But again, you don't know if it's the location or what your actions were. But from that point, we then moved into like 40% sharp rate. I think our best was 55% sharp rate. So sort of averaged about 45% as an average across the board for about 550 people who said they were coming. So not too bad. Managed to meet about 240 people and 260 no-shows. So really just trying to understand, like outside of, we did some email campaigns to warm them up. We ran them through Eventbrite. We also ran them through some of our own email marketing because when you get an Eventbrite email, it comes through as Eventbrite. So then I sort of assume people would just get to a point where they just think it's a reminder or it's, this is your ticket to have it ready kind of thing, not actually messaging from us. So look to change that as well. And then we didn't have the time to get to a point where we could actually get a text message service that had our name at the top of the sender. So we just had to run with the best we could on the fly. But I think that certainly helped. And then from that first one, we then moved into the day before and the morning of, and then even 2 hours before the event, just to try and really drive the sharp rate. But still just looking at the numbers, do you know what I mean? Like we talked about this other day in terms of leads and conversions. And if we can get more of that 100 people per event actually to the event, well, then even at the same conversion rate, we would have doubled our sales. So just trying to work through what you may have some experience in that area and what you can do to sort of drive that free attendance a little bit better.
Absolutely. I think there's a couple of different things to look at. I'm just trying to find something. Okay, so I have a question before I get into that. When you went to the people and you actually did you only go to individuals or did you also go to people who had groups of communities?
This is purely individuals.
Okay, so the things that tend to work slightly better is by having a mix, firstly, of individuals and people you can almost we used to call them our partners, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean by partners, it's like having 10 relationships with really good people in each one of those regions. And those people each bring 10 people, and then they become responsible for those 10 people, right? So we used to then do calls for those 10 people and give them tips of how to introduce them and what to do and what the value add is and stuff like that, and give them tips to grow their stuff. But what happens is if you go to 100 people, if you go to 10 people, you can still get 100 people if each one of them bring 10, right?
Yeah.
So I think the mix is always better. At our events, when we had, especially on the ground events, we always had a 70% sharp rate from the people who were partners, who brought people, because they were the ones that encouraged them to come.
Yeah.
And that
You
keeps
got that
the
warm sort of lead, that warm connection already there.
Exactly. So it's a warm connection, a warm lead. It's a relationship already, right? So Nina, for example, when I'd go to her, I'd go, Nina, we're running an event and a summit and whatever. Do you want to take any tickets, right? This is where we're going to be or whatever. And she'd say, yes, absolutely. And then she would fill her tickets. She would get an allocation of 10. I would generally give them to them for free, right? If we've got VIP tickets or whatever, then, and the VIP tickets going for, let's say, $97 or 197, and I give my partners a really cheap price, right? Like $200 for 10 VIP tickets or something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if there's top enough partners and they're paying between 15 and 25 to 30 grand a year, I just gift them to them, depending. I do find that some have a good attitude about when you gift it and they fill their tickets, but others don't. So you'll see who your partners are that generally don't fill tickets. We've got some of our guys on the books that will only bring 1 or 2 people, right? We've got other guys who'll bring hundreds of people. So the point is to have a database of people who know people and who want to actually have those interactions going. Because then whenever I went to Nina, she would bring maybe not 10, but she would bring 8 or 7, right? Now I know from a guarantee that at least 6 of those would come. Do you see what I mean? Like an 80%. So my conversions on people showing up were already higher. So whenever we did that, that's the first rule if you're going to run events globally or multi-city, right? Have a database of people who localized that know people. Yeah. That's definitely, like, for me, that's the most important thing, right? The second component is when you're taking a look at, and you go back through that value cycle, and the event, how long is the event? Like a whole day or what?
We advertised that it was meant to be like 90 minutes of seminar and then some drinks and nibbles afterwards, and it actually turned out to be more like 2 hours of seminar and then an hour and a half to 2 hours of networking and drinks, depending on the location and where we were.
Okay, so if you think about and you go back to what is the problem I'm solving by people coming to this event, right? You can already have an indication on running these who stayed longer. So the networking was really powerful, right? So that was a click word. Yes, that was something that people stayed longer for. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is that if you think about it, what is going to make it so valuable for them to come and spend 2 to 3 or 4 hours with you? Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of stuff and there's a lot of noise around. So if I get invited by my friend, I'm more likely to come, firstly, because my friend has invited me. But if I'm an individual and I kind of know your community, but I'm not, right? What is the value cycle, the value proposition that's happening in between, before the event? And it's not only email and WhatsApp, right? You've got to almost create like a free tribe where they can play, where they get to experience some things. They've got to almost have access to something that keeps them engaged. What's going to keep them activated, that their brains are going to go, oh my word, I have to get to this event, because if I don't get to this event, right, I'm not going to get this solved, right? So what is that you're trying to solve? Is it the networking, or is it the learning, or is it creating your own wealth? So clean up your marketing or your wording of what that value proposition is that they're going to give you a whole day of it. It's basically a whole day, like half a day, right? Yep. That they're going to allocate their time to you, whether they don't know you or not. So what can you do to improve it along the way without email and WhatsApp? Can you create a Telegram group where value add and no comments? Can you create a WhatsApp group with value add and no comments? What can you do to encourage this, right? Your partners, you can do a weekly call with them to see where they're at and what they're doing. Is there a download that they can receive before the event? Is there something that gets them engaged beforehand? Because that will increase your show up rates.
Yeah.
Make sense? So it's
Yeah, it
really
does.
about like what's going to make them give up a whole day for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all about that nurture, isn't it? Just sort of making sure you've got multiple touch points and delivering heaps and heaps of value before you've even got to the event, like you say, to really make them want to come.
It's not heaps and heaps of value, it's targeted value. So
Yeah.
careful that you don't spend so much time giving so much that by the end of
don't
the
come.
thing, the person's received everything already. Why would they come to the event either? There's a balance, right? You see,
Yeah, of course.
it's not heaps and heaps of value. It's targeted value that makes them go, I love this community. They've given me, like, I really have enjoyed it. Maybe there's a free introductory webinar before that gives 3 points of the best tips to come and experience this event and get the most out of it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff. So careful, Tim, that you're not like overthrowing value either. Because entrepreneurs tend to do that. We tend to give too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we inherently in our hearts, that's what our purpose is to help others. So we want to give and we want to do things,
And then you become noisy and they almost turn off at the same time.
Exactly, because there's so much noise out there. There's so much social media. I mean, if you go on your phone and your Facebook feed nowadays, I don't know, I see maybe 3 things of the people I know, and the rest is just adverts, right? So if you've got people going into Facebook and trying to, and they found your ad and they click on it, like I purchased something this week. I saw it, I watched the ad, I clicked on it, I purchased it, I went in and I used it. So when they do something, they want quick results, and they also want, so events is slightly different. It's like, if you're going to come to this event, right, and you're going to allocate your whole day. I was with PIN the whole weekend in the UK, and they probably had like 200 odd people attending, and their show up rate was probably around 80%, 90%.
Oh, wow.
There's components to that. They have partners who have stands who also get tickets. It's a combination. They pay, right? So they pay for their sponsorship. That's one thing. And then they get X amount of tickets to come with, so they can put their banner up in the reception where the tea and coffee is. Yeah? That's a big thing. Don't discount sponsorship. Yeah. The other thing is that most of them were part of an existing community where they've been connecting regularly every single month in their own pods and tribes. And then they brought people, and those people want to have that same energy that they're having. So individuals is a lot harder to keep their activity levels high enough to want to come. It's better if there's a formula relationship with others that they can see, and then they come.
Yeah, I like that. That was one of the ones we had. So we tried to have a number of our community or really close-minded, whether they're members or almost partners, in the room for a few of the events, and it sort of really showed where we were strong community-wise and where we weren't. But yeah, great idea. Definitely look to have more of those people in there, and then have them bring more people and reach out and actually be the one to have those touch points. So that Cara and I talked about having like regional leaders or town leaders effectively that become partners, and then we can incorporate them into the sales process as well, and they receive comms from bringing in people, and we sort of become more systemized to the point that they start dragging everyone into us, and we can just fly a speaker over there and actually achieve the event and then fly back out. So a lot less work on us, and then sort of share that workload with others, and then they get paid for it as well.
Definitely. I mean, for us, it's always an affiliate. When people come to an event, right, they linked. So if I bring 10 people, those 10 people are linked to me straight away, right? So our affiliate program works that if somebody clicks on it, it's a 12-month rolling. So if they click on something, they link to me. In that 12 months, if they aren't clicking again and they link to somebody else, then they're referred to the company. So then you still get affiliate commission coming in, but it then goes back into the organization. So the partners, we used to have different layers of partners. We used to have just somebody who brought his friends or her friends. Then we used to have more like regional partners, where they would actually get 30 to 40% of the revenue split. You see, and we would still control the spend, and we would still do everything, but we would use their networks, their stuff to get things going. We would still spend money on advertising. We would still do things like that, but they would get like a fee based on the live event, that the revenue that was done and collected, they would get 30% of.
Okay. It's a good idea.
So I would scatter it. I wouldn't have all in the same pool, because having somebody who's responsible for a city, we've tried that. And sometimes people love it, don't love it, get annoyed, they don't want to get involved. It's human nature. So then we've gone back to the format of like, anybody can be a partner, bring 10 people. So Ruby, I think, wanted to bring 10 people to the summit. No problem, Ruby. Here's your tickets. They're for free. You can bring them. Absolute pleasure. Bally wanted to bring. You have your tickets, you promote it, you do that. But if anybody of those 10 people buy anything, then you earn your affiliate commission. And I then double it generally for a big event. I'll double it to 20% instead of 10%. So if somebody buys a nice fat program, Bally can, earn a good amount of money. So that makes it easier. And then you've got a smaller trusted group of people that you can work with. So I ended up building up, like, I think probably 30 to 40 good partners in each region. And because not everybody's going to be able to come at every given point in time.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you.
Happy days. Okay. Ruby and Jaroslava, I don't think you dropped in the chat on your score of 1 to 10. Everybody else is an 8. So you've got a lot to compete with on how you're feeling today. So do that in the meantime. So we just spoke about Tim's question and where we were, and we were talking about numbers and stuff like that. So we'll get to feedback on your promo plan in a sec, Ruby, but let's go to Jaroslava because it's fundraising question. Fundraising is an interesting thing, sweets. I think it's also, remember, fundraising is really about telling the story. The main points about fundraising is telling the story, the positioning of your story, and then who are you reaching out for or to, right? So who do you have in your network that believes in this story of yours? And it comes back to, I think, then 3 or 4 main points. The big thing is the purpose. Why are you doing this? Why does this, what you're doing, matter? Right? Again, like that problem that we're solving, I know I keep going back to it and I'm probably sounding like a broken record, and I'm sorry. But you guys will get it eventually. But it's really around, it's why is this such a good thing to invest in, right? What is the impact that if you give me money, what impact are we going to do? So if you invest $10,000, right? I'm going to give you a 10% return in 12 months. So you can earn 10,000, 10,100, whatever, right? However the maths is. But you can earn a return either on money, or you can get free sponsorship, or you can get something out of it. The investor, when they give you money, they want to know what they can get out of it. Yeah. Is it branding? Is it aligning their brand? Like, let's say, I'm just going to fly with an example. It might not be applicable, so bear with me, but just for example purposes. So let's say hypothetically we're targeting old age people or older people. So let's say we go to the old age home in the area, right? And we have a relationship with the old age home, and the old age home becomes a sponsor, right? That always gives you a set fee of, let's say, $1,000 or $2,000 a month to advertise in your newsletters, to have a sponsorship at each event that you're running. And then the old people, inevitably, when they need to go to an old age home, will go to their old age home, right? I know that's a really simplistic format, but if you then go to them and you say, okay, I want to grow the platform and I want to expand, and I'd like to have you as would you like to fundraise with me? This is the purpose. This is the story behind it. They're going to say, what's in it for me, right? What is the guarantee back, right? So what can we get from the people transforming? Or let's say, for example, if they're doing all of these things and they give you money, let's say out of your tribe of 100 old people, 10 old people will always sign up and join their old age home, right? Which means they get money of X amount. Do you see what I mean? So you've got to relate it to their pocket and the story, if that helps. And sometimes that is challenging. Not very many investors just do angel investing. There's a lady that I know that I can connect you with. Her name's Esmeralda. She's got a lot of angel investors that are prepared to invest into different projects. So go and search angel investors in your region, because these guys, angel investors, are slightly different. They need to almost get rid of some of their money for tax. So that it still comes down to our financials, but they also have a good project behind it, right? And they can definitely put they can put money in, but there's a benefit in the back, right? The most superficial is, I give you 10 grand, how much are you going to give me back within 12 months? Yeah. Makes sense. And that might not be
Something
working for you. Yeah.
This is something I can see can be happening, at least not
No,
now. Or
definitely
the
not.
percentage will be tiny.
Exactly. But then if we take a look, there's different ways to fundraise, right? So like I said, the angel investing is one. The other is grants and foundations. Like if you go to the governments, to missions like that, where they can give you grants. The other thing is to do crowdfunding, right? And to actually do, if you take a look at the platforms like Kickstarter or GoFundMe or something like that, and you create a crowdfunding where people fund it, right? Go and investigate that. And also then definitely corporate sponsorship, because most corporates globally need to get rid of some money for tax, right? Which means they're happy to give you money. Like if they have their banner up, they'll give you 10 grand, and that money, it's funding in a way, yes, because it's cash, yeah, just for advertising cash, if you want to call it. The other option is high net worth individuals, you know, people who've got a passion for your cause. There are rich people, there are billionaires, there are, you know, go and search. Maybe there is somebody in your region that actually wants to contribute, right? And they want to do some kind of fund donation. And then the other thing is also like, this is where you come into donations type of things. And again, you know, donations and things like that, it comes down to tax. It comes down to what can you benefit on the back. So think a look about that. And then when you're looking at the two components, it's really around when you get into a pitch with somebody, it's around them. How can they align with your cause? The story behind it, of the emotions that's going to get that action, right? So instead of saying I need funding, right, it would be something around like, hey, would you be open to supporting us with $5,000 to help 20 old people get new walking sticks? Do you see what I mean? Or something like that. Do you see how the story, the way you're positioning is different when you're going and asking for money? So spend a bit of time. I mean, obviously you've got to get somebody who wants to give you money first, right? But then there's tips along the way. And then you could actually run potential networking events for fundraisers or potential people or sponsors. You could run like a cocktail evening. You know, you could definitely, like from an advertising point of view, you could do targeted ads that have their branding on it, those kind of things. What is the value in return that they're going to get? So I think it's co-branding, it's PR, it's all of those kind of things that they can get if your database is big enough. So that's kind of the background to funding. But I'll drop it to Veronica and she can just put it in the group for you, you know, and, you know, those points that I raised. Just go, I think crowdfunding is probably your quickest, and high net worth individuals and sponsorship.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. How are you feeling today on a score of 1 to 10? Because I didn't see your response. Sorry, I was speaking.
Mine was 8. I'm fine. Yeah. Right.
You're fine. Okay.
Inspired.
Amazing. All right. I don't actually, Tim. I can research. I can ask Suraj and get back to you. Yeah. Ruby Roo, you're at a 6.5. So what's wrong?
No, nothing wrong. Just a lot happening all at once. And then just needing to be very quiet and still and not so busy about it.
Okay. So question is, what feedback on your promo plan do you want?
Oh, just the idea and the, like, I think some of the figures that I've put in there.
Okay. Do you want to share your screen or do you want me to pull it up? You did mute yourself. Is that on purpose while you're looking for it, or do you want me to pick it up?
I just hit a wrong button.
Okay, no worries. It's all good.
Here we go. Okay, it here, so I'll just quickly scroll down to. I've left it because there's not that much difference, but I have changed. So I've called it the Serenity Circuit, this particular group coaching.
I can only see the first part of the slide, which says the College for Holistic Education. So
Oh.
is that showing me something different?
Let me just go. Sometimes it doesn't switch over to the actual thing that I'm working with. Hang on.
I can see the slide.
Now?
The product?
Mitch-
Yes, I can see the product now. Yes.
Right.
Sorry,
This
I
is
couldn't see that
product.
before.
That's
Mhm.
okay. And I think we've changed this now to 2.5.
Okay.
Well, it says I always give 2.5 hours for a 2-hour thing, so why not put it in there and sell it like that? So this is, like I've kind of done my best to identify what we're actually selling, what's the process or experience. But what I was looking for was this one. I wasn't very good on the customer pathway. I still don't really understand that fully. And also, so I was a bit of feedback on that, and also a bit of feedback on the compelling offer. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. So let's just go back to the product slide quickly, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
Okay. So I quite like the Serenity circuit. I think that's kind of nice. It does remind me a little bit of older people though. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So maybe.
What I was thinking of is,
Mm.
people go to the gym and they do
Yes.
circuits, right? So I just went, well, the people who come to
it.
this, they want that, it's a kind of a workout for the mind and the heart. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, I actually kind of like the circuit. I think I think that works. So you've got basically now I'm not quite sure I'm understanding. So you're going to twice a month for 12 months. Does it mean 3 months? Does it mean 8 months? Does it mean can we set a
Okay, so my plan was a good point. My plan was to sell 3 months up front. And then to go, okay, now would you like to enroll for the other 9 months, which will take it up to a year, and then have a price for that. Or they can come in and just enroll for 12 months up front if they like. And then in my pricing, that kind of gives them the possibility of making it cheaper for themselves.
I think, Ruby, let's focus on one offering instead of a mixture of an offering, right? I'll tell you why. So choose 12 months or 3 months. I would say let's go with 3 months, because then you can always upsell at the end of the 3 months. I know you're good at the upselling, and I know you're good at getting somebody to continue the program. If you have a call with someone and you can see that they're ready for 12 months, you can always sell them into it straight away, right? But I would go with a 3-month offer. It's 3 hours. It's 3 months. It's 5 hours a month. Like, let's make it a little bit more marketing friendly. So 5 hours a month, because that's basically what it is now, right? It's 5 hours in-depth personal coaching. You don't even need to say twice a month. You just say in-depth, do you get what I'm saying? And for 3 months, or sometimes I prefer to say 12 weeks because it sounds a little shorter than 3 months for just the mathematical purpose.
Yeah.
Because it kind of gets them in their head. And then that 3 months is either going to give you a plus, a minus, or a whatever kind of thing. The sentence below, I would beef it up a little bit. What is the participant go through? Remember, when you're talking about your promise, it's around making it about them. So enjoy a massive transformation of self, via exceptional process, right? You understand what I mean? I just think that, I want to make it more about them here. So join us for this 12-week circuit so that you can enjoy a massive transformation, where we show you processes, we give you aspects, we give you tips and tools, we share things that will help you to heal traumas, increase your confidence, have a feeling of well-being, fulfillment, and actually enjoy what you're doing so that you can align to your higher purpose. I mean, Veronica can send you the recording, but take it and make it a little bit more.
Yeah, I see what I hear, but for me, that's more in the marketing. This was for the
It
actual
is.
plan. So are you suggesting that when we're doing this promo plan, that it's a good idea to put in there exactly how we're going to market it.
This is what a promo plan is. Your promo is your marketing pitch, right?
Oh, okay.
Even in your product, right? Even in your product,
Yeah.
I show you, I don't know if I've got it on my screen, but the point is it doesn't matter. When you go into a product, what's selling at the moment is when people can read the product is like this. This is what it's going to do for me. This is the transformation. So careful that you're not being too steely in your product descriptions, because I know it's coming over. Isabel's your Lord. So it is very exact. You need to put blaze in it because it's about people.
Yeah. Okay.
So you need to link the conversation. It's got to be about them. It's got to be, what is that transformation, that they read it and they go, because the other point is really, if they are reading a brochure or a website where it defines the product, it's still got to say something well, because see what I mean? So use this as that kind of a link to create that story around it a bit better. All right. Then your next question was, I think, the next slide. Yes. No, that was
this is just proof.
Yeah.
This was about the customer pathway. So here's the thing. What I'll explain exactly what I've got, because what I've done is I've gone, like I've limited who can come, so it's exclusive. They must have attended at least one group breathwork session, and I've identified at least 30 who are, like likely to, like 80% likely to come along. And out of those, I've had 2 people who already put their hand up and said emphatically, I'm coming. But
I think what you also need to add, sorry to interrupt you, but you also need to add the word exclusive into your slide 8.
Okay, so in other words, in the product up here, do you mean?
Exclusive Serenity Circuit, an exclusive Serenity Circuit for small group, for a small group or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's got, I like the exclusivity of it, because that's going to create more of the action to say, oh, I want to come into something. Do you know what I mean? So I like that exclusive word. So think about how you can incorporate that. So that's good. Right? Yeah. Sorry, I'm just speaking as you're going.
That's good. And so that's what I've done. I've thought, okay, I've shortlisted these people, already got 2 out of, say, the 12. So I just need another 10 to join it to make it a full group. I won't start unless I get 10. I've identified that I want to start on the 22nd or at the very latest, the 29th of April. That's when sessions will start, that 3 months. So, I'll just change this now to, and like you said, 12-week commitment. I'll change all that later. And then what I thought of doing was giving them a copy of, as a bonus, 2 of my books, and that they'll join a personal WhatsApp group. But is this where to put that stuff, is my question. Do I put personal WhatsApp group under community, or where does that go even? Or is that...
Good question. You can still hear me? My internet went a bit wobbly, but I think I got everything you said. So you can hear me?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So the reels on Facebook and stuff like that, what I would do is, number 1, right? I would rather you focus on at least 4 to 5 reels a week, right? I would add into your followers segment a component of ads if you wanted to later, but because it's such a small group, I wouldn't do that yet. Your newsletter, I think, is good, but definitely do more reels and less posts.
Well, I don't do it anyway.
The other thing is the other thing then is, in the community section, the WhatsApp group is going to go under prospects once somebody's purchased something from you.
Oh, so that'll go under prospects. I see. Okay, so it goes over to here.
They bought one thing from you. Yeah. So, there you can use your book, or you can use these copy of your drug or your life or your Elevate Your Health. Those can be downloads, right? So do you remember, I think we talked about Carrie Samuels many years ago, right? Samuels. I'll drop you her website inside it. When she does emails or any communication and stuff, there's always a free download. Take a look, Ruby, here's her website. Go and have a look at how she does it. Sign up and see what she does. Her email journeys. Do you want to stop sharing your screen for a sec and then I can just show you?
That'd be good.
I want to show you her email communication first because her email communication is actually pretty decent. Just let me find it. Right. So, and this is creating a funnel within the communication. So if you take a look at her email stuff, there's like, it's very girly and it's very cool because it's kind of her color. So if you look at her brand and you look at her stuff, right? Everything's extra intense. This is like, you know, your moon stuff or whatever. So this is what people are opening at the moment, which you can do easily because you can do this. This is not difficult for you. She's got a nice little picture here. She gives a little bit of things in here, but I'll break it down. And if you haven't watched my latest forecast, so if you go to her forecast here, I'll show you now, you'll see where it fits. But then this gives you a whole bunch of stuff. It gives you some value. And if you're interested in this stuff, you'll read it. And then at the end, she's got a call to action of something. Join me for this free event. Register for my free eclipse night, whatever, right? You can also go to her website. So if I go here, this is where she stores, it's on her website, but she stores her forecasts and stuff like that. It is a YouTube video, right? So I can go straight into YouTube. And I would rather you do a video than you do any posts. That's why I'm saying reels or videos. Yes. And here, I mean, if you go into this, I don't know if you hear the sound or anything, but it's only 30 minutes.
Hold on to your socks because March is going to be wild.
So if she does that, you can go faster, slower. Here, you know, she gives you a little bit of a breakdown at the glance. She gives you a little bit of a thing on the, I'm not saying this is exactly you, but do you see how she's doing the funnel? Yeah. And it's pretty, it's soft. It's not difficult. And this is her main page where, you know, this is what it has, but also on her main page, there's a bit of a gap here. So it would be good here, see your inner superpower. This goes straight into your funnel, right? And if you go back to your value added thing, the point of attracting the attention is to have something that people join for free or do something for free so that then they go and buy something or they come and do things, right? And it's not necessarily that they're only buying this one program from you. Now they might just join your free yoga or they might join whatever your promotion is for that month, they can do. So I think clean it up in that. I think have your downloads, but don't do them all at once. I think choose one path. Say, I'm going to do videos about the Serenity circuit, right? I'm going to do one video a week, right? If you do one YouTube video, that's 30 minutes, you can segment it and break it up into YouTube Reels in Instagram, for example, or Facebook. Yes. So you can use that, then have your full video. You can have your funnel built out that it goes, this is where it's going. Then they download something for free, which is download your free Serenity, your Serenity something today and come and join me for this free webinar that I'm going to do to host it, right? You can tailor that in. And then if you go back to your value cycle, then once they join something and they've paid you, then they can have a WhatsApp group, right?
Let's share it again then. So you're saying that, so this is all in here. So this is then they join, but they only join, that's only for those people who are actually in my group, full stop. That's not
this
for
stuff they can only access when they're already a client of yours, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, when you do a pathway or a funnel, go and take a look at Carrie. Like she does a lot of posting on Instagram and how she promotes it. So she'll promote like the summit that she's working on for next week. So she's got a theme every quarter of what she's promoting people into. And then everything, the conversation that's having, every email or communication has got that particular thing in at the bottom of the quarter. You know, so it keeps it really easy because, you know, once somebody's in your community, Ruby, you can do a newsletter and you can basically have these are all the areas that you can play in, you know, I would be careful that you don't overdo too many things. And the reason I like Carrie's stuff is in the beginning, she did a lot of things in the emails and I then stopped opening them because it was just too much to try and figure out which one I should look at. Now they're a lot cleaner and they've got one topic and they've got a thing that I can do. So that's what we're talking about in that beginning space. Don't give all your content away, but use it strategically for somebody to download something. So like your drug of your life or something like that. I don't know what that is, but it sounds quite funky. Do it on LinkedIn and get everybody to download something and add them into your newsletter. Do you see what I mean? Then they get a newsletter where they can go to the next step. Don't do too many things.
Yeah.
Less is always more in these funnels at the moment, because clients are getting a lot of stuff and they're getting a lot of overwhelm and things like that they don't always they can't always determine what
They
the
don't want to
right-
hear all about it. They just want to have a little chunk.
Yes, but it's because there's so many going on that you want to keep it clean. So my suggestion for all of you is the less in this case and keep it clean for the quarter is easier.
Yep.
You know, the same in your side. Tim, you've got an advert and you've got reels or whatever. The next thing, what is the next thing? Where do you want to go? Because if they're giving you time, you don't want to overwhelm with everybody else's time. And if you go on any advertising campaign, there's a lot. So this is what niche problem you're solving is super important, and build them into something where they're getting value from you.
So then if I just go quickly to this this compelling offer, this is the compelling offer, and that's why I had the 2 free books in there, because I thought that's just to beat it out a bit. So
I think it's good. I think, like I said, pricing, just change it to the 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Just do one price. I would say, personalized, abundant resources to support your growth. I would move the wording around a little bit. Access to personal meditations. I wouldn't say, because remember here, when I read a compelling offer, I want to know how it's going to affect me. I don't care about that, actually, with all due respect. Private WhatsApp group, amazing. Move the special offers for other colleges down to the bottom. And then say your free books and, you know, that kind of stuff. Because special offers from other people, I don't know if I'd put it in. I might think about putting it in or not.
Well, that's really, oh God.
Yeah, it's fine. You know, you don't have to fix it now. But I think the books are very valuable. And I think the meditation, you know, access to busy people's meditation. Don't say the word recording, just say access to. I mean, yes, it's a recording when they click into it, but access to. So careful the words that you're using also, Ruby.
Right, got it.
Okay, so I think the compelling offer is fine. It's not too much. I think it's quite nice.
And then this is just the data behind that. I don't think it's really that. That can be added in. The other thing was that this is what this was the summary, if you like, of.
But you don't want to show them this. This is what you do.
This is just for the plan here. This is
So this is fine. I mean, if somebody's ready to, you know, when you're having a conversation with them and they're ready to go for 12 months, take them for 12 months. Say, hey, you know, I've got a great special for 12 months joining. It's only $5,000. You save yourself $3,004. I didn't even tell them how I calculated it.
Right? That's right. Yeah. So great. Okay, cool. And then the only other thing was this one, which I always get confused by. These 5 pathways. In this case, for me, for this particular promo, there's really just a warm database, you know, because I'm not interested in people who have, you know, I don't want people in my group who haven't been to a group breathwork with me.
Yes.
So if I was, pardon?
So I get what you're saying. So I'm going to hear you. So when we're talking about your routes to market, you've got your YouTube video, right? That's going to be your one thing, your warm database, and potentially you do run a webinar. You need 3 to 5. You don't need all of them. So I know you don't need partners and referrals. Yeah. So just take that one out. Yeah.
So, okay. So, I can just put in here
you can you know, so
But that's
your
like
warm
the
database as well. Work your warm database. And then you also want a kind of a cold database coming in, which is either your digital marketing through Facebook or webinars, traffic, or something like that, right? So you want free, or you want people who don't know you, people who do know you, and
so is that more the digital marketing then? That would be more the Facebook posts and
that's like your Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, your meta stuff.
Okay. All right. So, and then
Okay.
the rest of it, I just get completely
You
bamboozled.
just
But
take them out. You need 3. Yeah, you need a minimum of 3 routes to market, because you can't only promote something through email anymore.
yeah,
Oops.
that's right.
So
Yeah.
that's the catch to it. So where am I going to get my people from? This is what the slide means. Where am I getting my people to join them? One of yours there is actually direct reach out, because you've already got a client base. So
Oh, right.
it's
So that, in
basically
other words,
direct
this
reach
would
out.
be, yeah, so this one would be direct reach out
Correct.
because I've got
Because you've
webinars.
got email, direct reach out,
Yeah.
and
Got it.
webinars, for example, and then
Yeah, yeah.
digital marketing.
So I
Yep.
wouldn't want, yeah. Although it's funny, I gave out like at the end of, not the last one, the one before, I gave out a sheet that had all the group breathwork things, because this was in person, and all
Yep.
the dates for the year. And
Yeah.
a few of the people said, oh, I just went home and just put them all in my diary because I'm coming to every one of them, you know. So sometimes something like that actually does work.
Well, what I
Yeah.
would do is, if you say sometimes it works, I would ask you, how does it work? How many people signed up? How many? Remember, when you're trying to determine whether something's working, you've got to have your stats and your numbers. So I gave out 1,000 pamphlets, 10 people joined in, and do you see?
That's right. Well, I gave out 15, and out of those 15, I had 10 people enrolled.
Well, that's great then. Then it works, right? Do you see what I'm saying?
Does
But then
work.
if you want to do that, then scale it up and do 100 posters, because then you know you get the same ratio. Yes.
Yeah.
But you're only looking for a group of 10 to 15 people
10,
anyway.
right,
So
right.
so
Right,
you
it's
can
not-
choose. Maybe you run 2 groups in a quarter. I don't know. You decide. Yeah.
I don't know what this slide is, but I know that was something that's, this is as far as I went for this. Oh, sorry, this is as far as I went.
No,
So,
that's perfect. No problem.
okay. Thank you
Did I
very
answer
much
your
for
question?
that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you feel a bit better?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
I feel more confident. Yes.
That's a good thing, because otherwise you'd be freaking out on me, and that would be terrible. So guys, we've only got 10 minutes left. So I'm thinking that it was really good to have the questions, but I'm thinking there's not enough time to cover what I wanted to cover today. So what I'd like to do is come over to Nina and Bally and get some feedback from them of where they need support after what they've heard. And then next week we can cover the training that I wanted to do. Yeah? How does that sound? Yeah? Okay. So Nina, Bally, who wants to go first?
Nina, do you want me to go first? Wow, this Ruby's example has been fantastic. Thank you, Ruby, for sharing that. And yeah, so as always, there's so much learning. So for myself, and then again, Michelle, you're going to say, so what does that mean? Is it your community, your followers? So I presented similar to Tim last week, and I had something like 33 people in the room.
Nice.
And so that was great. So for me, what best thing is follow up, right? So I want to go back, and there's a few things I definitely missed during the presentation, and because I was invited to do it, like the call to action. Okay, so maybe having conversations about, are they willing to sponsor some of the people wanting to do some coaching, or if they're not, I need to strategize how I pitch myself next time, because there was such a welcome. And yes, I've got following through that. Then so that's what I want to do, is build on that. And then the other part is that I'm building my AI community, and I really want to launch a program. At the same token, I really like working one-on-one with people. So I'm a little bit like, okay, it's like the luxury of working one-on-one. I can really get into the trenches, and that's just my heart wanting to support that individual. So I just want to, so yeah, I've got the 12-week program, and that's why I've kind of held off, going, okay, I can kind of get this out there. So that's kind of where I am at the moment.
Okay, so firstly, well done on speaking in front of a group. It's never easy. I did on the weekend, and I know it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of energy. So good job. And that's a last bunch of people, right? So what I'd like you to do, if you're speaking, always make sure that there's like a barcode on the screen where somebody can, a QR code or something that somebody can scan in and join. And if you are speaking at an event, make sure that your details are in the brochures, which I don't know if that happened. Are your details in the brochure? Have you got a little space where they can see who you are? And then like ask the sponsors or ask the people if it's possible to send out an email to say, thank you so much to everybody. Here's my free gift for you, right? Or something like that. That's how you can redeem it now without having to call everybody individually, right? You can call everybody individually, of course, but ask the sponsor to do it on your behalf, right? If you don't have all of their details. So can I just send an email out to everybody to say, thank you for listening. And yeah, I just want to give them something free, which is like access to your thing, right? Yeah. Okay.
That's
Yes.
super helpful. Yeah, I've got the audio I'm recording next week, part of the book. So perhaps that could be something as a follow-up. I have followed up with the organizer and sent them and said thank you
Okay.
and said that I
But
would
maybe
do.
ask them if you can send a gift to the community by sending out an email on their behalf, you know, say something like that, right? So see how you can actually get in front of those people, that because the sponsor obviously grabbed those people, right? Or the people, you know, they have a relationship and that's why the people came. So see how you can leverage that. And then always at the event, have like a pamphlet, have your business cards, have something up, have in the brochure. That's just learning for future. When you come to your courses, I'm going to say to you for now, what is more important? And I'm going to guess, so you can always hit me if I'm wrong. I would say go and get 5 clients that are paying you one-on-one, because you're going to get more money in your pocket, and then you can still build out your group program to start a different quarter.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking more and more about, having those one-on-ones. So that's what I'm building on. I've got a few conversations happening because I can definitely, yeah, and that will and then the cash flow will come into, yeah.
Correct. And you know, guys, when you're starting out a new startup, it's better to do one-on-ones. Start with where you're getting paid. Where's the flow, right? So start with someone paying you your time until you've got no time left. Belly, when you have no time left, then you can say, okay, I need to go into a group coaching. This is what Ruby's doing, right? I've got no time left. I can't do one-on-ones anymore. Shit, right? Then you launch your group, because then you've got enough people wanting you, right? So it's that want that you want to create. So I would definitely price it, and I would go with my one-on-one program. I would price it at a high price, because it is one-on-one coaching, and it is weekly, or it is whatever, and it's a higher price point. Definitely don't undervalue yourself, because that's another thing that you might do.
Yeah, so my instinct was definitely right the last couple of days, as I've been sitting here thinking about kind of how to position it, because I have got those clients. So yeah, Nina's going, yeah. So
Exactly.
yeah.
So I think that's my suggestion to you. And then what I'd like to see is how many people can you book in your diary for the next week to have a conversation with, to convert them into a one-on-one client. And that's the data I want to know from you next week, right? So I followed up with the 30 people. I'm still doing my group stuff. I'm still doing all the stuff that's attracting the following, but I've turned my focus, that I've actually filled my diary with people who want one-on-one, who are interested in doing one-on-one work with me. This is how many people are booked in, or this is how many we have closed. That's what you need to focus on this week. Okay.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
Amazeballs. Okay, Nina. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, so I'm sort of in the middle of next week I'll be going live for 5 days doing training.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
so it's out there. Some
Exciting.
registrations are coming in, and I still have I still want to put some more out there in these next days. So I'm hoping that maybe I was thinking 30, I'll be very happy, but now it's like, oh, maybe I can do a bit more than that. So and I
How
think
many
that's
do you have right now? How many people are registered so far?
24, I think is right at the moment. But I also know a few people that have said they're registering that hasn't come through yet. But so
Amazing.
probably I think by the end of the day I'll have about 30. And I haven't really shared much out. I've sent some invites, I've shared once. So I'm producing some content, educational content over the next days. I will
Nice.
also share, as I'll be joining Tony Robbins for Unleash Your Power Within from tomorrow till Sunday. So I will be using the energy from that to also share some things, and I think also going on video, because right now I've just sort of created a post and then linked to my landing page. But I think the minute I start also engaging and speaking, it might attract some more.
Yes.
So
Got
so
a
that's
beautiful
good.
energy, and you've got a beautiful like vibe about you at the moment. So I would do 1 or 2 videos and see how it goes, and then you can at least, it steps you up a little bit, ups your game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so, and then the next step then is, throughout that week, dripping in and inviting for the founding sort of membership.
Nice.
And also, so I will do the founder membership, and then I will also invite, and that I think is going to be sort of at the level where if they found that those 5 days are really great and they want to sort of keep going at it, it's an easy decision to make. But then I also will invite some people that I feel like they want a little bit more personal attention and so on. So I'm opening up that I might have three one-on-one spots, or just something around the area. Yeah.
Nice. That sounds good. Sounds like you're on track. So I wish you all the best. Use the communities also, there might be people in the community who would like to bring someone. So speak to your friends, see who you've got that actually, that can bring some people. Also,
Absolutely. I actually just got a message from one of my friends that she's one of the certified flow consultants, and she said that there will be some chicken wings following next week. So that's, she's doing vibrant surf. So she has some like wing sisters. So,
that's amazing.
so she has some of those. So she's obviously inviting some of those. So she's been talking to a few people. So we'll see
That's
what that.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I
Yeah.
think definitely get your, I think you're quite subdued at the moment. You've got a good energy about you. I'd like you to just lift your excitement about what you're doing. Just a tad, yes? Just get a little bit more excited. It's not going to fail. You're going to be amazing. I want a little bit more like Tony Robbins will help with that for sure.
Absolutely. And I just have to say, yeah, because I've had a couple of days now where I'm just so, there's been a lot of things happening. I'm just so, like I feel my body is tired. So I know I have to up but that's also, I'm going away tomorrow. I'll be just in a place by myself. It's a beautiful resort. I'll be there until next Saturday. And so I'll be doing Tony Robbins, and I'll just have time and space. And it's kind of like in the background where I have right now, but it's just a resort space by the water. So I know that's gonna lift my energy and my spirits. So yes, but thank you. I will. And going online and going on a video, that's important. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So what was your biggest takeaway from today?
Actually, mine was what you were telling Tim. What did I put in the in the sheet? It was this thing with, it's not about giving a lot, but it's about targeting. It's not about just
targeted
what
value.
was it that you said?
Targeted value. Yeah.
Yes,
definitely.
targeted value, and that's I'm gonna bring that in my the week to come.
Nice, excellent. All right, Tim, what was your biggest takeaway from today?
Just getting your take really on improving that show-up rate, just understanding that outside of just email and text, there's a few different things we're going to be doing, like little bonus downloads or, so many little bits and pieces we're going to be doing outside of just an email. So yeah, definitely something we'll start working on for the next one.
Awesome. Fabulous. Ruby, your biggest takeaway?
I think for me it was the word, it was the targeted value, but also, when I'm writing the promo plan, to use the wording that I'll actually be using in the promotion itself, rather than making it all technical and whatever, and being very lordy about it. So,
Shame, give Isabel a kiss on the lordiness. It's very good.
Yeah, give her the boot, you mean? No, that's what I have to do. Constantly making me do. I write this newsletter, which is very, very blaze, and she goes,
You do need to blaze it a bit. And that's, remember, it's good to have the steel, but the steel actually burns the blaze out, which means you get less clients. So
yeah, that exactly.
People want to feel, I would say, make sure all your communication has a tempo blaze feel to it, and add a little bit of the dynamo adds in some steel. If you want to know more, speak to me or something like that. But the steel on an advertising or what people are seeing at the moment doesn't stand out very much. And so that's always the...
Like I wanted to put Ruby's ravings for the monthly newsletter, and she said, "No, you can't do that."
That's perfect. I would do Ruby's ravings, definitely. Like that's
Yeah,
a great.
exactly.
So you know, people want to see successes. Guys, words. Remember, words are magical. Words are magical. Create the
And
magic.
your energy, Ruby, I just want to say that, you know, your energy with your quirkiness as well needs to come through, not
That's right.
Isabel's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But that's good learning. Shame she would have taken it with a bag of salt. Okay, Jaroslava, what was your biggest takeaway from today?
Well, also the targeting to one thing, because I tend to do many things in one, and it's not possible. And I can see the clarity how it's even liberating to do just one thing. Yeah, if I can never do it. And then I would like to implement that principle that the clients take, bringing their own, you know, the clients with them, potential clients. That's something it's kind of not my energy. I don't know how to grasp it. So that's something I have to learn how to do it.
I think you remember it's not about your energy. It's about you've already got a really good supportive client base, right? So remember, people already like you and trust you. So it's about, hey, bring a friend. Hey, who can you bring with you? Yes, I know we talked about it many moons ago, but potentially see what kind of incentives you can give them for bringing a friend with or doing something like that, you know, see if there's something like that. And, you know, you've still got that lady working with you. Yes.
Yeah, well, no, but I have another one that was quite a crisis last week.
Oh, crumbs.
Earthquake. Yeah, but it's over now and I have a bigger team right now.
That's okay. So also remember that your team has relationships with the people. So your team can have a conversation and say, hey, you know, hey, Ruby, it's Michelle here. I know you're coming to our event on Saturday. Would you love to bring a friend? It's really that simple. Don't overthink it. Né? Don't get too tangled in your head. Yeah. And don't think that it's a thing. Yeah. Careful. And even if people at the event don't come with someone, while you're at the event and doing it, you can always go, hey, yeah, I'm giving you a little card that you can bring a friend with the next time. We're going to phone you and follow up or something like that. So make it easy for yourself. Okay.
Find the way which I will be comfortable with. Yes. Understood.
Right. You know, and use your team. Use your team.
Yes. Thanks.
Yes. You don't have to do everything yourself. Careful, right? Careful.
I'm learning that.
Yeah. You can use the people in your team. All right, Belly, your biggest takeaway from today?
Yeah, I just want a big thank you. And just on to Yaroslava's note, on Saturday, I was speaking at a summit, World Summit, and I just invited people. And I didn't expect 5 people from all over the world turning up for that summit. I just said, do you want to join? Here's the link. They all did. That was like so simple. I was like, and the others are going, oh, we missed it. So yeah, people are hungry for this stuff. So you know, my other one was targeted value, which really stood out, and learning from Ruby's example. Which bits, you know, are they followers? Are they potential? You know, like, is it like that was really helpful. So thank you, Ruby.
Awesome. Okay, so guys, it's just try not to overthink it. Actually enjoy your businesses. Enjoy what you're doing. You're in a beautiful part. You know, at the moment, remember, there's an eclipse coming up, so there's a lot of energies, there's a lot of things, so you're probably feeling a lot more tired. There's a lot of things happening energetically this month, right? Like a ton of shit that's happening astrologically. So careful that you also look after yourselves. Don't make rash decisions. Don't do things that are going to freak you out, but do what works for you and feel happy. Feel like shed the load, you know, enjoy this. It's a beautiful, definitely explains why you're sleeping more, Belly. And, you know, things become overwhelming very quickly, right? It's also dependent where you are in the world, because that also freaks it out a bit. So just make time for yourselves, make time for those moments in time where you actually just enjoy, like I say, enjoy what you're doing, you know, please. I mean, this is like, I'm not trying to sound very stupid or anything, but definitely, you know, we've got the retrogrades are coming. Neptune is changing things after 14 years. I mean, we're in the midst of Venus retrograde. I mean, we've got eclipse season coming. You know, so you've got all of these kind of things that are hitting. So, you know, it's going to bring emotions up. So really rekindle what you're passionate about, recognize where your boundaries have been crossed. Take a look at where do you want to invest your time, your energy, your heart, right? And you might find there are these pockets of not so many things, which is restoring balance or trying to restore balance. We're saying, you know, where you're boxing with something or you like, oh, this is not working for me, right? Which I've had that a couple of days this week. I'm like, this is not working for me. I'm not doing this, right? And I got like really super thinged about it. So just allow yourself the space to process the emotions as they come. Be kind on yourself. All I'm saying is that the balance will come back, right? This too shall pass, but it is an exciting time. So just be patient and be kind to yourselves. And also just really get that passion, get enjoyment in what you're doing, because I think that's the important part to move forward. Okay.
Well, on that note, just
Nice.
going back to my 6.5, we've had a cyclone on the Gold Coast. So I've had no power in my place since Thursday. So it has been just chaos, right? And I'm really pissed off I missed the cyclone because I'm down here in Adelaide and it's sunny and it's warm and I just walk out onto the beach and everything. But in a way, it's been very supportive. But I'm fractured because, you know, I've got to deal with this mess when I get home. Anyway, I just thought I'd actually share the depth of why it was 6.5.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, Ruby. So, you know, like guys, there's a lot of stuff happening. So just enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Do your thing and get in your routines, you know, do the things that work for you. And you know what? The things are going to fall all over, do different things. Sometimes you just got to come from a place of like acceptance and remember that everything is a perfect experience. And even when it doesn't work, it's a perfect experience because you've learned something from that and you can move forward. And these moments in time, you can't take back, you can't go back to them. So love them, enjoy them. Perfect experience. This is what it is. Be patient and enjoy. That's my 3 cents worth for you guys for today. Yeah. So go and be amazing. And I will see you next week. And thank you so much. Veronica did ask not to give her takeaways because she's busy, but I'm sure she did sort of listen. So she's always available to help if you guys need anything. And good luck for this week for all of you that are doing different things. And I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks, Michelle. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.